Today we are going to do like a combination of an accordion book with Jacob's Ladder kind of a book. And so, it's pretty simple. It's just an accordion, and then, we can embellish it with, a little tied up. You can make covers, like for this one, I made like actually just a pop-out cover instead of a hard binding cover. And, you can make them all different sizes. And, when I learned how to do this, which is from a visual artist that actually now she's living in Portugal, and I'm from Portugal, so I kind of have a connection from there. And I was looking about, book binding classes in Portugal and workshops. And so I found her, and her name is El Lahem, I think. And so she had these, instructions on, I'm sure that she was not the one that created originally, but, and she also used like all sorts of art supplies that she had around. And so I had done some screen printing before, and I had these leaves that I used for photography. So I decided to use all my, materials that I had around to do it. So today we're going to do from kind of scratch, all new materials, but so I asked you to have a strip of paper that's 25 inches long by 5. And the paper I used is this Hansen paper. Maybe if you can see the label.
Maria,
Yes. Uh-huh.
can you give me the artist's name again so I can put it into the chat?
Yeah, so it's E-L, and then the last name is L-A-N-H-A-M.
L-A-N-H-A-M?
Yes, and then the Instagram, I found her on Instagram, and the Instagram is the 2 names, but it has an underscore after so it's E-L underscore L-A-M, L-A-H-A-M.
L-A-N-H-A-M.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put that into the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So I'm using the Hansen, and that's, I think, was in the instructions, which is, it's a fairly sturdy, but also soft enough to fold, because, when you are doing an accordion, and if you are doing, of course you can do it with a heavy paper, like, handmade watercolor papers and like all the handmade papers, but, sometimes the folds kind of crack. So we are going to do, I have to stand up because I don't know how to work sitting down. So the first thing we are going to do is like making a regular accordion. So we are going to meet the 2 edges. And I'm going to fold them. And then, so you'll have the first line. So I'm going to meet the edge towards the center. And then fold it again. So now you have 2 lines. So we need a 4th one here. So what we do is we get this line here, and we are going to match it to the middle line that we just folded, which is black. And fold again. Now we are going to switch around and do the same on the other side. Fold the middle. Go to the middle again. And then bring that line to meet that first fold that we just made. Make sure the paper is straight. Okay, so we have now the paper divided in 8 parts, and we are just going to fold it as a regular accordion. So we have to switch the folds on the one of them, and we have our accordion.
Maria, I want to stop for 1 second. You're doing great. I want to make sure that everyone is seeing Maria's work screen, not the screen that has her face on it, but the screen that has her work, her cutting mat, and her hands. And that's how you can follow it. So if anybody's having any trouble finding the work screen, please just unmute yourself and let me know, and I'll try to guide you to it.
So I'm having difficulty. I know you said to click on that pin video, which I did, but I still can just see Maria's upper body and not her hands and the.
Oh, you don't have to pin me. You have to pin the screen that says Maria's iPhone 11.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, I'll find that.
Okay, so I'll do it again, like just for. Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm still looking for your other screen. You said it says Maria's iPhone on it?
11. And it has a strip of orange paper.
Got it. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So, make sure that, the paper is well, the folds are good. Now, this Canson paper has 2 sides. One is like a little bit rougher, and it's, and the other side is smooth. So, it's up to you, whatever side you want to do. So now what we are going to do is going to cut a strip in the middle, and like this one. So we are going to cut a strip in the middle. So this one is really a JPEG slider. Okay. So we are going to cut this strip of paper. So the way to do this, we can. So the paper is the accordion is 5 inches tall. So I measured like 2 inches, and then 2 inches from the top, 2 inches from the bottom. And then I am going to cut like that inch. That's not centimeters. Okay, so inch and 2 inches. Inches, and 2 inches from the top. Now we are going to cut from one side to the other. Now there's 2 ways of doing this. One way is to go like from one point to the other and then just cut. I had just learned in a recent workshop with Alan Gilbert that a good way to don't miss the stop and the end is to go with like a awl and just poke like a little dot over there in the beginning and at the end. And then, so then your X-Acto knife kind of knows where to start and where to stop. So do that. Okay, and then, so one way is to just cut a line like this, which is probably the more correct way. The other way that when I'm being lazy, I do is I fold the accordion and then I open the front and the back, and then they are together, okay? And then just cut like this. So I have to measure again here. I have to put the, and then if you are strong enough, you can just cut through here, and you will cut all the pages of the accordion together, but the front and the back. Because if you cut the front and the back, then it doesn't work. The pieces fall out. So, so I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it the correct way, but just that you can do it the other way around. So, okay, just be sturdy. Get my X-Acto knife, and I love these alpha knives. Let's start. And going to use. Realize that. Okay, so now we have the accordion with the first and the last page empty, so no cuts, and we have this strip in the middle. Okay, and so here, that's where we are going to use the little cards that I had on the instructions, and so I used for this I used some cardstock, and paying attention to the, I don't think that matters too much, but I decided to do everything the correct way. So I cut the cards paying attention to the grain of the paper, and so I'm just going to cut the last ones to give you time to cut some, just in case you haven't done ready. Going to erase the pencil marks. Okay, so now we have these cards, and we are going to lace them through the slits of paper. So one thing that we have to pay attention to is, like, if you have like small cards, I just stamped them. One thing that you are going to have to pay attention is to where does this strip of paper going to cover, what is it going to cover. So on this one, like for instance, I should have done this upside down, so you see it's covering the middle. It's it's okay, but it will be better if I could see the entire flower there. So first one goes like just in and out, and then the next one has to go to the opposite side. So this part was out, so this part has to go in and out and in, and just put it back together. So now you see, like here, when I printed them, I just made sure that the flowers were in the middle, so then I could see the middle. So the next one has to be one of this. So it goes in the opposite way it did the last time. So you basically have to lace them. Now, if the cards that you are using are a little bit heavier than the paper that's on the bottom, what happens is that they are a little bit thicker, so you kind of have to just pull them together. And so the only thing you have to do, you can cut just a sleeve or two of that after you, so that's fine. Okay, now, so I go out and in again, and then one more. Okay. See that this one needs to be trimmed a little bit because otherwise it doesn't fit. Then you have one more. Okay, to cut this one too. I'm just showing you all the problems that you can run into after after you do all of this. Okay, back in there, and this one goes out. This one is probably the last one is the most difficult to make, so to get in, because you barely have space to put it on, but there you go. Okay. Now, I only had printed things on the front of the card. So when you close it, when you close it, like the back is going to be just white and orange because there's nothing printed on the back. So the other thing you can do is to have the card printed back and forth, or you can put another piece of card, like another card that will show the image. So when you have an image in front and you have an image in the back. Okay. And so this one is like this. And then the other thing you can do is like you can do when you are pairing if you are using two cards, you can pair them to start with. Like for instance here, I need one like this, and then I need one that has the paired pages in the middle. So if you put them at the same time, which is probably easier. You'll have already the image on the other side. So then you fold it again, and there you have it. Now, this is called it's an accordion, but it's also like a Jacob's ladder because there's a secret. They open like in the middle. So the other day I was making one, and I was just like writing something on these cards that you don't see, and then you don't see on the back. But then if you open it up like this, you have a secret message there. You can write a secret message there. So And then, you know, you can leave it just like this, or we can actually, I'm going to make like one of these little belts for it. And for that, we have the instructions, right? Like a 7x1. So all I do, actually this is too big. I'm going to cut this like a 1 inch wide. And for these little things, I like to use the squares on the cutting mat. I found that sometimes like this, I don't think the 1 inch here is exactly like 1 inch on the ruler, but you know, if you start and end with that, that's fine. So I'm going to measure around. So, this. And then you can, I don't know if you can see. So I did like, I cut a slit and then I did this and then so it goes in. The thing is that sometimes this, you know, if we open it up and close it up, a lot of times the paper kind of starts giving in a little bit. So I am going to use a glue stick to do it. So the way I like to do it is, so I have it like on the side, and then I am going to bone fold it. Just make a line, so it's bone folds, and then like this one is about a quarter of an inch wide, thick the spine. So I'm going to measure quarter of an inch, and I am going to make another bone fold mark. And this paper is really thick, so I think it's much more than 98 pounds. But, so it's right there, so it's kind of a fits properly on the spine. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to measure another quarter of an inch. I can barely see it on this white paper. I'm sorry. I'm going to glue it in the back. Like this, and instead of putting a pencil mark, I just went with the bone folder, because you know, pencil mark, then I have to erase it after I glue it. But you know, with the bone folder, you don't, you know, you kind of don't see it. I can use a scrap piece of paper to do it. And, you know, of course, then you can decorate to your art's content, everything in here. And then it's done. Then it comes out, and you open it.